You're all set, Jason.
All set? Start the pledge of allegiance.
No, yeah.
Pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pending no changes to the agenda, I'll look for an approval of this.
I just want to add, I've got a planning board report, committee and board reports.
Anything else altered?
Motion to approve is amended.
Second.
All those in favor? Public forum. Big crowd tonight. We got anything in the public? No?
Any of the others here?
Approval of the minutes, August 10th.
Just note under old business, one, we got a sentence that just appears out of nowhere, I think.
Oh my gosh,
I
yeah.
think that's from previous minutes. or
Previous
something.
minutes
Yeah.
needs to be crossed out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Martin. Whenever I get to the desk, I seem to forget something like that.
And did we vote to close the trout brook rooms to 3 family? I thought it was just a hill.
We closed it to avoid general public from running on it, because they have no place to go once they get down. But people that reside there or going down to
Okay.
visits, they can continue to utilize it. That was my understanding.
I'll make a motion to approve is amended.
Second.
No discussion on those minutes? All in favor? Committee board reports. Start with the RSU, Finance Committee. Minutes.
I was at the meeting, so I just took a copy of the minutes and provided you with all of the information there. They are looking at doing 2 bond sales as soon as, October? To take advantage of the rates and why is it we're not doing just 1 bond? Why the 2? Is it because of the rules that go with doing bonds?
It is. It's because we need to spend the money within 24 months. So what we're going to take is around 40 million, and then in the spring, about 16.5. We'll take as much as we can once we go to maximum price, as much as we can, as early as we can, because the interest rates are growing, and then, but we need to make sure we're going to spend is the problem. So then we'll take the next 16.5 or so.
Katie, I know who you are, but would you introduce yourself to the rest of the board, in case they don't?
So do we, but maybe them.
Oh, yes. Katie Haas, Superintendent of Schools, RSU 21.
Thank you.
High-tech operation.
Yeah.
Is that all we have on the RSU Finance Committee?
Yeah. Yeah, I put copies of everything in there.
Yeah. So B would be Planning Board.
August 13th meeting, they had started off with 2 public hearings. First one was the Golf Mill Brook dam removal. There were 4 folks that spoke against the removal. And that was pretty much it. The next item was Bittersweet Farms. There was no public comments on that. Pending application was Golf Mill Brook dam removal. Jacob Amon is the applicant's agent, and he gave some information on the benefits of removing that dam, there was a little bit of talking back and forth. The board has not made any decision yet. They wanted to stew on it, and there's some more information that's going to be provided to the board before they make some decision. Basically, it's Mary Kastner that owns the property that the dam is on. Her dad created the dam many, many years ago. The dam is deteriorating, and she doesn't have the money to redo it. These folks from the Wells National Estuarine Reserve are helping her out and saying, hey, you can remove it, here are all the reasons why you should remove it, and they're gonna do some, if they get the approval to remove it, they're gonna do some mitigation to help, some of the swamp and some of the, revegetate some of the land when it drops down. Let's see, Bittersweet Farm subdivision. I didn't take any notes. Tom, there wasn't any action on you guys, right?
This Thursday.
This Thursday, okay. So there was that, and then Lovejoy subdivision is a pre-app for a proposed development of a 3-lot residential cluster subdivision. The planner did not prepare a findings of fact, so they're gonna get that going for this coming meeting. This at one time was a cluster subdivision, but they rearranged things so that not to make it a cluster subdivision. And then with the Seashore Trolling Museum, a conditional use, again, it was a pre-app. Their proposal to construct a 9,696 square foot addition to the existing Fairview barn. This is for storage and rehabilitation of museum equipment. And then the other item was a conditional use permit renewal for Du Bois Solid Waste Facility, a determination of applicant completeness. There were 13 conditions that were set for the Du Bois livestock. The last time this was done back in 2011. So the board went back and forth with the applicant on those 13 conditions. Some of those were not met, and then there were a couple of other items missing, so the board made a motion that this submission is not complete. Planners report, they signed a small amendment to the Cape Arundel Cottage, had to do with some parking. Staff review, did an amendment to the Branch Brook fuel. Also, they did something with a private way exemption. Tad stated, but I forgot to write down what it was. They approved the solar greenhouse. They're doing a little bit of work over at the solar greenhouse at the solar center. We've got a private way that's coming in. We've got another drawdown on the cottages. Speaking of the cottages, they discussed an alternate entrance for the cottages, but that is not an issue. They was talking about going back on alternate on the mountain road off of Hidden Meadows, right? And it was reiterated back to them that that is just for an emergency exit only, so they kept it at that. They're doing lots of field changes as they're doing all this building, and they are still waiting for the condo docks for that. And adjournment was at 9:44.
Thank you, Dan. Manager's report.
Yeah, for me this evening is a bunch of housekeeping measures. At your last business meeting, we approved the ambulance write-off policy. Evidently, I did not have it prepared for you to sign, so I'm going to send it around for signatures. You've already approved it. You don't want to?
That's okay. You want a second one signed or not?
Yeah, we can have a second one. And then, as that's going around, the other piece of information I had was, this was provided to me. Evidently, in years past, the board has signed off on the adjustments of full-time wages to employees. I provided a copy to you, which is similar to what I've been gathering from previous years. And so, unless there's strong objection, I would, hopefully there's a motion and second to approve these adjustments as presented.
These are all budget.
Yes, sir, they are. The payroll adjustments, we can take a motion, yes.
Move that we approve the increase in wages for the employees on the town building.
Second?
Motion's been made, second, any more discussion on that? Sorry, just seeing if I have to abstain here.
And you might want to is, for diems on the bottom.
Yeah, rescue per diems
Yeah,
on there.
that's what I was doing. Yeah. Made and seconded, any more discussion? All those in favor? That's-
You have to sign.
Here, you can sign it. That'd be great, thank you. That's all I have on the manager's report this evening, Mr. Chairman.
Old business. Don't see anything pending yet.
Right now pending, a bunch of RFPs will be going out on vehicles that we have, RFPs on services for in and around the town buildings. Those will be going out shortly. I held off until September to put out the RFPs on tax party sales. So all that material will be going out here very shortly. Just as FYI to you folks at this point.
How's the copy you're holding up at the town?
We have and it's on here,
Oh, it is?
yeah, well, I'm gonna
Oh, sorry.
table final discussions on it, but I can give you a.
Oh, I didn't see it under new business. Yeah, I can wait.
We didn't know if the board would be interested in looking at a property that I think would be available on Kent Ground Road for town hall. Right after when you go on, right across the brook.
Yep.
Going up the hill, there's a property on the right that I think could be available, just under 6 acres. If that would be a desirable enough location.
Are you familiar with it? Oh, is it?
Uh,
Are you familiar with the property?
I am. It's a very buildable property. There's a little bit of wetland on the low side. There's a little runoff down the middle that could be culverted with some catch basins and storm drainage. That could be controlled pretty easily.
Does it border the park?
It does not. It's on the right-hand side of the road. And there is,
Oh, it's on the other side of the road.
yeah, going in from this end, it's on the right.
I think there's a property between Shady Oaks and
Yeah,
there's another property between, so right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Shady Oaks, there's a property, and then there's this one could be available, goes down to the brook crossing.
Yeah.
Look at it.
No harm in looking.
Yeah.
Sure, we can look.
Yeah.
If you wanna set up a sidewalk sometime, I think it could be almost any time the board's available. Keith,
We'll shoot before the next meeting.
That'd be great. And that way, I can get the details from Phil, and I'll reach out to the board members via email. If you're interested, we'll set up a time and see who can make it.
New business.
I do want to add something on old business. You know, we talked about this a while back, remember Jack's list? One of the items that Jack had talked about was some of our employees we have are hourly employees and they're traditionally salaried positions. I don't know if that's
that's something that you ought to take a look at, see if it's feasible to do that.
It was on my list of things to look at, yes.
Any other old business? New business, review and approve the deed, town of Arundel to RSU 21.
Yes, this evening, you have new documentation that has just been provided to us via the attorney relative to a quitclaim deed that has been developed along with the survey that was conducted. With that, there's also information from the Maine Department, Maine Turnpike Authority, reference to the 50-foot right-of-way, and confirmation and clarification of that right-of-way has been signed by the Executive Director of the Maine Turnpike Authority. You can take some time and take a look at that if you like. Finally, I think the last catch piece for us is that we still have some discussions pending on a memorandum of understanding. The superintendent's here this evening, and she's also provided you a letter within her packet indicating the flavor of her board as to what they're envisioning for our relationship to continue in the use of the school. So I think all these pieces are here for us to discuss. I think the most important piece for us, however, is if you can have a comfort level with everything else that we're talking tonight, would be some action on the quitclaim deed. I'll leave it up to you for discussion.
Katie, construction's gonna start, when, in the fall?
No, construction in this building will start in April,
So,
and it should be complete in December.
So, you know, the summer months, May, June, April, May, June are very heavy for the Little League field.
Correct.
So, I noticed that there was something here that said about, during construction, accident. So, I think it's key to make sure that that doesn't get hindered at all during those time periods.
We don't anticipate that it will, and Rudy can maybe speak a little more clearly to where we'll be in terms of where the construction vehicles will be and where your right-of-way will be. We weren't thinking about that in terms of the construction, we weren't thinking about Little League next summer, but, or the use of the fields. We were thinking more about community building usage and whether we might need to move you at some point into a different location when we're ready to take this wing down. But I believe that the new library will be built before this one comes down. So we probably will just move over there, and that will all be wired for microphones and live stream video and all of that for you. But we just wanted to build this in case we run into something that causes us to need to hold community meetings in a classroom or somewhere else in the meantime. That's all. It was just just in case. We don't anticipate an issue with Little League next summer in the fields.
No, but like you mentioned that, we'll make sure that we're keeping access.
Yeah, that's a key season for Little League. It starts, depending on when the snow gets done, but, we certainly don't want to block that off, because that's our home field, so.
Right, and the summer rec program uses primarily the gym and the court and the outside building, is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We use the field.
And the field, right,
Yeah,
right, okay, yeah, yeah. But they're not down in they're not over in the classroom or in the gym, or they wouldn't need to be. Right.
They have their own room, complete other end of the building.
Does the town still keep access to all the functions that go on, bean suppers and school dances and
All of that.
meeting, everything?
Yep, all of that. And so as long as this is a school in our RSU, Or if 75 years from now, we decided not to have this be a school in our RSU, but we wanted to keep it empty in case we needed another school. In either of those cases, you will have the same access you've always had in terms of being someplace at community meetings and access to the fields and parking for the fields and all of that. It would be in the case that we decide to sell or lease the building, which I can't imagine is anywhere in the near future since we're doing this whole renovation project. And in that case, your use gets limited by the sale or lease of the building. The same thing happens with the fields. We're asking that you extend our access to use those fields for PE classes and for sporting events and use it for Special Olympics. We do the district Special Olympics out here. Unless at some point the town decides to sell the fields, and then in which case we wouldn't continue to have that level of access.
So if the building, something happens, the building gets sold, the town still, we still have access to the fields out back. That's a deeded right of way, and we would still have access to the fields out back and still have parking.
Really, the parking is a key element to that. If our use changes here and we lease or sell it, you will still have access through the property to the athletic fields and the right to park cars on the property, as long as you're using the fields the way they're used now, as recreational community use. If you should sell it for an office building, then we would revisit that.
Suppose 5 years, 20 years, 75 years, RSU does decide to close the building or lease it or sell it. Does our town have any say on that?
You get first refusal of that, of the property.
Yeah, but how about, this is kind of the center of our town. We don't want to see, I shouldn't say we, because I don't know, I don't want to see the school closed, for one, ever. So,
Again, we don't have any intention of closing the school. One of our commitments is, as part of the RSU, is to have an elementary school in every town. And obviously, we're sinking quite a bit of money into this. The 3 towns are sinking quite a bit of money into the renovation of this building, so that it will be for years to come. We just, in revisiting this deed, we need to look at all of the what ifs. And so, what if the town decided to sell the fields to Walgreens, right? And so then what happens with parking? Well, what if we did close the school for whatever reason? Again, it's nothing that's on our horizon. It's just a what if.
thank you.
Do I understand, Lieutenant, that we're not going to enter into this memorandum of understanding now? Or we are?
The lawyers are still working on the memorandum of understanding.
Okay.
But it seems.
I'm a little concerned about just having a letter of agreement, so
No,
to speak,
yeah.
going forward, because board compositions change, minds can be changed down the road, superintendents can change, and, you know, it's not unusual, not unheard of, that, you know, boards might disagree over an issue. I'm a little concerned that one might use this building as a leverage, or use of this building as a leverage in particular. So I prefer to see a memorandum of understanding at least signed by both the RSU board and this board. So we have something a little more substantive to hang our hats on.
Right, and our attorney, Bill Stockmeyer, has been working closely with me on that. And now she's on vacation this week, and so it wasn't finalized by the end of the day Friday. And so I spoke with Maureen King, the chair of our board, and Larry Bruce, who's vice chair, and we felt like we could offer you this as kind of a handshake to let you know that our intention is not to change any usage, and that we hope you won't change any usage of the field for us. And just so that as you worked on the deed, you knew what our intention behind it was. It really isn't any acknowledgement of this to continue using as is both ways.
I just want to be clear that we are going to hopefully get to a point where we have this agreement between us. It's going to be a little more formal than.
Correct. Yes. That's my understanding, right? Is that?
It's mine as well.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
I just had from Leah's email that it sounded like Bill was talking about doing something else, and I didn't exactly
I
understand.
believe they're still trying to hammer out the details, and I'm confident that they will. We have to present something to both boards that will be able to sign.
So are we looking to sign 2 documents, a quitclaim deed and a member of understanding, or are we doing it all in one document?
Well, I
It's 2
believe
documents.
it's gonna be 2 documents on 2 separate occasions, if
Yeah.
you agree to it. I think tonight we'd like to, I think the school, the RSU would like to have the quitclaim deed signed, if at all possible. And then at a later date, not too far down, we'll continue to hammer at our attorneys to make sure it isn't too far away, but that memorandum of understanding would also be provided to you for discussion and hopefully for signage as well. I think the letter that has been presented, it sort of gives you a flavor that the RSU is ready, willing, and able to work with us to make sure that all the parties feel very comfortable about the relinquishment of the building and our future relationships moving forward.
I note that, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't know if I was my turn to speak or not, but our board acted on the deed last week on the 17th, and they voted it, they were comfortable voting it in. They understand that there's a second piece with the memorandum of understanding coming, so.
I don't know whether I've seen the final draft, but I've seen some drafts on the line leaves, there's no language in here about RSU utilizing the field for real purposes. You might want to,
Well, that was in one of the drafts.
I may not have the final draft, so that's
We
what
thought
I'm
it
saying.
was
The one I have here
appropriate to
doesn't
keep
have
the
it.
memorandum of understanding,
Yeah.
really that reciprocal use.
Yeah.
Should we sign the deed before the memorandum of understanding? Or do
My guess is that you need this deed signed sooner rather than later for bonding purposes, right?
They do.
Right.
But if you're not comfortable, then you certainly could wait till the next meeting. No, we can't wait till the next meeting.
Sorry.
I thought I read something that said you
Yeah, we're really under the gun there.
up against it, I thought.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So we need to rely on the good faith of the RSU board and the administration, which I'm happy to do. And I'll make a motion that we approve and sign the proposed quitclaim deed with covenant, without covenant.
I'll second it. Any more discussion on that? All those in favor of signing the quitclaim deed?
You have it, who has it?
I believe we have enough copies here that we can get a few signed. Do you have a copy?
I have a copy.
How many do you need?
This is for
I don't think we only need one.
Need one, that's right.
Right,
Yeah.
we need one, and then we can probably run a copy,
Sure.
unless you want to sign 2, and then we can each take one, whatever works better for you. I don't know if the office is unlocked, but.
The copy machine, I used it tonight, so.
Oh, good, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I would sign one and make a copy rather than have
I'll
two
do that.
originals floating around.
Yep.
That can
okay.
cause confusion.
If you'd like to, I'll send that around. And Rudy also points out that there should be some signatures on this right-of-way document through the sort of confirmation, clarification of the right-of-way for Main Turnpike Authority.
yeah.
So
Jonathan Airy?
once we get done with the deed, then I would recommend that we take some action there. What we, in essence, doing there is to ensure that the 50-foot right-of-way maintained continues, and the turnpike understands that and is already signed off on.
If somebody has the original of this, we're going to record that.
Yes. I believe our attorney has it.
Okay.
Yes.
signing that tonight as well.
Yes,
The
so
confirmation.
we make a motion second to sign that as well.
There's no place for us to sign.
Yeah, there is,
Yes,
page
page
2 of 3.
I guess I need to.
It should have been in the new packet that I gave you. Here's a copy. Why don't you take this one?
Okay. So I'll make a motion that we also sign and execute the confirmation and clarification of right of way with the main turnpike.
I'll second that.
Motion made, seconded, any more discussion on that? All in favor?
What's that?
It's like what you do with this stuff.
Yeah, I think we did.
So if you need copies tonight, we'll just do that.
I can step on it. Thank you.
Anything else with the RSU? Nothing else pending? Signature?
Thank you very much.
Review and approve the copier printer proposals.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to table that for time. We're still looking at those documents. We had 5 RFPs. Out of the 5, we had 8 proposals that came. They ranged from purchase of a copier from $12,000 down to $6,500. So we have a huge gamut of proposals that are before us, and I'd like to be able to make some inquiries prior to make a recommendation to you to seek one of these copiers.
Everybody all right with that?
All those on, now still working.
We have a one that's on loan at this point. One of the vendors really motivated and brought us one to use.
Moving on. Lowering the tax rate for fiscal year 2016.
I like the way you say that, Mr. Chairman. I provided to you some materials that was presented to me by the tax assessor relative to some of the ranges and tax rate that is being proposed by the assessor. There were a minimum rate and a maximum rate. My recommendation to you folks is to approve the minimum rate that is provided to us at this point, which would be roughly about a 3.1% increase in the rate of 45 cents. It will go from $14.50 to $14.95. There's a minimal amount of overlay that we'd be setting aside, which is, I think, typical of what you did last year to try to maintain the rate. I don't think we found that that rounding off hurt us in any meaningful way. There's always a feeling that the overlay is used for abatements, but generally speaking, it's actually to be used to round off the rate in order to balance it. So, based on the information that we have before us, and it would be my recommendation to set the rate at $14.95 for the upcoming tax year. In the end, that means for a $200,000 home, we'll be looking at $90 additional dollars that would have to be collected on the taxes as a result of it.
have a question. How can we have less value in land?
From what I understand, talking to the assessor, we had some land that was combined. And as a result of that combining that land, there was a reduction in value.
Some subdivisions that were withdrawn.
Yeah.
So when they're made into subdivisions, each lot becomes a separate house lot.
Correct.
But there were a couple of them that were recombined into just a single lot, so that decreased the value.
I make a motion, we go with the manager's recommendation of 14.95.
Second that.
Any discussion on that?
Party's over, huh?
Well, you've held 14, when I say 1450 for 3 years,
Yeah, we have.
which has been hard, you know, you take your hats as a result of that.
What happens if we stayed at 1450? What does that mean?
We wouldn't collect enough money, so we'd have to come up with a different strategy in order to pay our bills.
Yes, I do. I don't know.
Motion's been made, seconded, any more discussion? All in favor?
And that's with the first payment for the construction in there, right? Is it the first payment?
Half year installations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you folks need a copy of that right of way agreement with the near-term house rate?
Tomatoes and zucchini. I don't want to take them home.
Moving forward, amendment to Bentley's special amusement permit. What'd you forget, Bentley? What did we made?
Yes, you have in your packet this evening an amendment to the special amusement permit. I believe Bentley can provide the detailed information, but specifically, I believe it's for one event that will be held outside that they're anticipating that was not part of the original packet. And that's why they're before you now to amend it to their amusement, to their special amusement permit.
That's only for one event?
And where is it, out back? It's not at the parking lot, right? It's
Out back,
Out back.
that stage we have out back,
Yeah.
and it's heading towards the north, shouldn't bother anybody.
When would that be?
Whatever day we get on the arrow.
Saturday,
It's
September
Saturday,
5th.
September 5th, from 6 to 11 p.m.
Now make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Emily, is this just because you didn't have September 5th on here? Because you have the,
No, it's because Jim did not feel comfortable because the initial amusement permit is for the main bar area, and this is going to be outside in the courtyard.
oh, okay.
So
I
he
get it.
didn't feel comfortable that this covered it, so he wanted it,
But I-
thought this, he should amend it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Approve table warrants, moving down.
So move.
Motion made,
Second.
second, all in favor? If they nobody's there. All right, this is some pretty Any other business?
Yes. I'd like to put forward a proclamation from the Selectmen. Whereas 100 years ago, as of April 1st, 1915, the state of Maine's 77th legislature of 1915 enacted and recorded the information of the town of North Kennebunkport, Maine. And whereas the municipal body of the town of North Kennebunkport, Maine, voted on September 9th, 1957, as endorsed by the 98th legislature, changed the name of the municipality from North Kennebunkport to Arundel, Maine. And whereas much of the town of Arundel's rich and diverse heritage is contained in documents, photographs, and records created by and for its people. And whereas the Arundel Historical Society has been established as a nonprofit organization dedicated to responsibly preserve and make available these historical documents, photographs, and records, as well as implements and lifestyle of Arundel's early inhabitants. And whereas the Arundel Historical Society has organized and sponsored Arundel Heritage Day to promote the spirit of community and to increase awareness of Arundel's rich farming history. Now therefore we, Jason Netto, Thomas Danlett, Daniel Dubois, Velma Jones Hayes, Philip Levy, Selectmen of the town of Arundel, Maine, do hereby proclaim Saturday, September 19th, 2015, Heritage Day. On this 100th year of the incorporation of the town of Arundel, and encourage all Arundel residents to join the Arundel Historical Society in the celebration of our 100th anniversary. Would you like us to sign all of these?
No, just the copy, the tan copy. Those are just for everybody to have a copy if they want to see it.
And I'd like a motion to sign that.
So moved. All in favor?
That's a copy for everyone, and
And we do have a problem if we put the Heritage Day poster on the website or.
yeah,
No.
We want people to go there, right?
yeah, that's right.
We don't want them to attend.
I think we need a big banner on our website that says happy birthday Arundel.
You want to take one with you, maybe call me.
Make some manners if you want to sign the dump truck.
There you go.
When we get in the field, I mean, traffic will be backed up right there, plenty of people will see it.
Yeah, that's true. I went up there the other day and it was. That's true. Thank you.
Any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
Good night. Camera.
Tomatoes. Oh, come on.
Get a text from Mr. Foley.